know I like that right there. You know I like that right there. You know. What it do, yeah? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that ROD pod. For those that don't know who I am him, Junes, the MPIC. And of course, you know, I represent that ROD. Want to give a shout out, praise, and honor to the creators, the ancestors, the fallen, the Alkebulan deities that hover over us. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to you guys for your continuous support, leaving all the feedback, the positive, the negative. Everything is respected and needed because it allows me to do what I do best, and that is to continue keeping my foot on all necks. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Round of applause for that. Yeah. I decided to come on early today because, yes, I gotta be at the plantation today, and I don't know what time I'm gonna get home. So, you know, hopefully I'll try to do it, be back, but by like 3, 4. But by that time, I'll be tired and exhausted, and then, you know, it's getting nice outside. And like I said, we're taking this year to be more involved with Mother Nature, involved within the community, involved with the people. We no longer gonna keep ourselves tied and congested under ideologies that has not been proven, not once, not twice, 3 times maybe. Cause I know you. See, we know you. You understand? We know, you know, a lot of things that you guys give unto us is for your own benefit, right? And these are the things that I be trying to have black people to understand, that a lot of your so-called a lot of your so-called knowledge and wisdom and understanding comes from them. You understand? They are the ones that says, hey, you shall do this and you shall be like that, and etc., 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 etc. Right? So hold on a minute. So if we know these things as individuals, and we know what these people are capable of, then again, why are we following the ways of these people when we know that these people have been lying to us, and we know what these people are capable of? So why are we allowing, you know, these people to continue mislead us, misguide us, and why are we still putting so much trust into the stuff that is given unto us? No matter what it is, you have to always question it. Whether it's religion, you have to say, what is the benefit out of it? Who, what, when, where? Who's benefiting? Who's prosperous? And who gets the short end of the stick? You got to ask these questions to anything that's given unto you by people that's historically broke treatings. And listen, look, check this out. The minute you put shackles around my neck, you feed children to alligators. You rape women. They rape children. They was raping men. They was doing all the heinous things you can imagine. Anybody, anybody that's on that type of time, you understand, when you see stuff like that, there's no way we can rekindle and become buddies and become best friends. How can we? That's impossible. You did the most wickedest thing a human can do to another human, and now you're telling me that we can be cool. That's why the movie Sinners is such a phenomenal movie, because they do all the massacre, you know, bloodshed, etc., bloodbath, and then it's like, hey, we cool now, right? We good? You my homie? Matter of fact, ride with me, and let's spread this evil across the world, and then let people know that it's good once you get bit. I can't make this stuff up. But again, like I said, I came out earlier today. I said I'm gonna be in the plantation. Let me put something for my people so they can guys so they have something to look forward to while I'm gone. And in today's live, I decided to talk about why I'm learning my heritage, what was taken away in the name of Jesus. Why I'm learning my heritage, the heritage that was taken away with the name of Jesus. Okay? Why? So I decided to put a live. I said a live. I decided to put a slide together. Right? Nothing too crazy, but basically just giving you guys an insight of what's going on, and put together by no other than the Alkebulan kidnaps. You feel me? So the root of spirits, exploring pre-colonial African spirituality. We're gonna look into that. Okay. It says African spirituality represents one of the humanity's oldest and most profound spiritual traditions, forming the bedrock of cultural identity across the continent and worldwide. Let's get it clear. Pre-colonial spiritual practices reveal sophisticated theological frameworks that have shaped communities for millennia. These traditions emphasize harmony with nature, ancestral connections, and 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 the new kid understanding of divine forces. Okay, this presentation explores the core elements of traditional African spirituality. We're going to examine how these African practices can continue to resonate today despite historical disruptions with what excuse me, we'll journey through the complex spiritual landscape that existed before European colonial arrivals, with all of this BS with the Jesus I love you. Remember, we going to look into what we was doing prior to the bite. What was we doing prior to the bite? Huh? Let's see. Now, for you guys, I have to give you guys the hierarchies. You see, nature spirits, this is us. This is the nature. This is natural. This is you. The spirit, the soul that's in you, that's you. This is why you are able to read another person's energy off the gate. I can tell if my Wiz is having a bad day, and I can tell if the bad day is going to affect anything. Why? Because we have that spiritual power, right? You can tell when your woman is annoyed with you, pissed off, frustrated, vice versa. You can tell because it's a connection. It's a soul spiritual connection that is on the natural level. This is the minute level. This is the level that we are in. Okay? Okay? What they have done, and when I say they, I'm talking about the Orsinian family, the Rafis, and all of that. What they have done is, you see the hierarchy. They told you that your ancestors is evil, so you don't tap into that. So you bury your ancestors in a graveyard, right? That's owned by them, and there's studies that's being shown right now that's showing that after 5 to 7 to 10 years, they dig up the body and they remove it, and they leave that area open for a so-called next a next person that passes away. Remember, we die every day. How come all of these cemeteries isn't filled? Where all these bodies is going? We talking about from the very beginning. We talking 1700. Some of these cemeteries is over 100 and something years old, and over 100 years, millions of people have died, and yet nothing is. People don't understand what's going on. But anyway, they make you bury your family far, far away. They tell you that, when you hear spirits and these are demons, these are that, these are that. They feed you all of this, right? And then they give you a Jesus to replace the ancestors and to replace the Alkebulan deities. They gave you Jesus. Because remember, Jesus has now become the mediator between you and the creator. That's what they told you, right? So now you put all your trust in Jesus. You put all your trust in Christianity. You put all your trust in all of these religions that was created. And then when things go wrong, you find yourself in jail. You find yourself in a situation. You find yourself in a situation that Jesus can't get you out of. But Jesus said he's going to heal all things. All things can be healed in the name of Jesus. I mean, I cannot make this stuff up. You guys still don't learn, but I'm going to learn you. Okay? So we had the ancestral spirits. We honored our ancestors. We still communicated with our ancestors. Sometimes we will go to the witch doctors and the same thing that Saul did when he went to go revive Samuel. They told you that it's evil. Why did you do that? That's not true. These are lies. We've been doing this. We've been tapping into the other realm. That's in our DNA. Okay? Don't listen to these people. Stop listening to their ideology. Okay? They're putting these things in the story to keep you from tapping into what you need to tap into to stand strong, to gain the strength, to be prepared for what's happening worldwide. Oh, this is a worldwide phenomenon. Best believe that. Okay? All right. So you tap in, you tap into your ancestors. You like, yo, I need this. Yo, I need that. And I'm gonna tell you how you know what I'm saying is facts and what these people are saying is complete BS. Bro, when I was 8 years old, like I say this all the time, my pops died when I was 8. My pops never left the house. My mother had to come call a voodoo priest to remove my father from the house because he wouldn't leave. Okay? My father refused to leave. And my mother called the voodoo priest. The voodoo priest did something, and my father was gone. Okay? My father was gone. For whatever reason it may be, you understand what I'm saying? He was gone. It is what it is. You understand? But I know for a fact that his presence was here. I felt him. You know what I'm saying? There would be times when I'm sitting there, you could feel, I felt something rubbing. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like it got too crazy is because we didn't know. I didn't know. My mother grew up Catholic, so she didn't know. You understand? I didn't know. But when I spoke, when you speak to people, it's like, oh yeah, you know these deities, your ancestors is always amongst you. They are the ones that they don't talk in your ear, telling you don't do this, don't do that. You should go left, you should go right. They're here, but based on what we was told through their religion, they don't dwell amongst us because we do the things that we're not supposed to do. For example, and I know I'm getting off task, but I gotta feed you this barbecue chicken. For example, when somebody dies, you're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to be in anger that these people died. They're transitioning to the other phase. We are eternal. You never die. You never, ever, ever, ever die. Don't listen to these people. Don't listen to this hell story. Don't listen to you know the apocalypse of Paul, Peter. Listen, I used to do these things. I used to really sit here and read this and study this and practice this and teach this until you find out that these things is a lie. These are mystical stories. These people the story of the apocalypse of Paul didn't come hundreds of years after he was dead. The apocalypse of Peter, hundreds of years after he was dead. These niggas did not write these stories while they was alive. None of these things, all of these writers within the New Testament, none of these things was written while anybody was alive. So how is this the book of Matthew where Matthew didn't even put a pen to the pad? How is this the book of Peter when Peter didn't put a pen to the pad? None of these things happened. All of it is lies, and I know it's a tough pill to digest, but you got to take it for what it is because it is not true. It's a lie. It's another lie after another lie after another lie after another lie because all they do is lie. Okay. Then you got the Alkebulan deities, the Oguns, the Oshays, the ones that sit here. And the reason why I say Ogun and Oshay, because those were the deities that the Alkebulans kidnaps in Haiti called on. And since I am a so-called Haitian descendant, a Cameroon, a Benin, you know what I'm saying, a West Africanian, Ghana, Nigeria, I don't know. But I know that, listen, I know I'm from that side of town. You feel me? I know that these were the deities that they was calling on. And I know it was Ogun. I know it was Oshay that was bringing the sickness into the air and these people was catching fevers and all that. I know that was Oshay. I know that was Mama Love. I know that was the powers that they got, the green light that they got from the Alkebulan creators. Okay? That was the green light that they got to wreak havoc. And they did it because we was summoning them. We went by the waters. We started saying, man, fuck all this Christianity stuff, man. We're gonna go by the water. We're gonna do this. And by that time, the heat was on. The beef was on. It was on and popping. By that time, we was already tapped into the Alkebulan deities, Alkebulan creators, and look what happened. So now they're telling you that there's demons, fallen angels, and then the devil came down with one half of the angels, and the angels did this and they did that. I'm like, so then, damn. So one half of the angels got kicked out of heaven. They come onto the earth, bring complete chaos to the earth. But not one time did the God, the most powerfulest of all powerful, not one time did this God take his anger out on these angels. Oh, they're going to be in chains and shackles for thousands of years to come. And then the demons, they had children, and then the children became the demons, and the demons is what we're having here. No, those children are all the Euros that you see running around. That's what's running around. Them. That's their children. That's the offspring of that. You go ahead and believe the story. You go ahead and believe Cain and Abel, Adam. You go believe these stories, bro. There was bare humans living before Adam and Eve. These people giving you these stories is it's another lie after 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 another lie, bro. You can even read it. You can even read it in the book of Genesis in the beginning, right? When it says when Cain was kicked out, it was ordained. It was an order that nobody, any man, anyone. That means there's multiple people there. If it's only 3 people, all he had to say, if any one of you guys hurt this man, I'm going to. Your blood is on your hands. But why would a man who took a life now be protected by God and say, none of you guys touch him, leave him alone? Oh, my bad. He's gonna be the one to do it, right? So same thing for the devil, right? Leave him alone. But he's gonna be the one to do it. But meanwhile, they taking all advantage of us. These demons come down, do all the chaos in this world, teach man weaponry, war, this, that. This is to say, listen carefully to what they say. Taught man war, makeup, this, etc., etc. But Ogun was a man of war. So what are you saying? Oh, you telling me not to connect to that? I get it. Copy that. We good. Keep that over there. See, you can't break me. You see how big my head is? You can't break me. You can't feed me a story. It's only for so long you can give me spoon-fed meals. Eventually, I'm gonna want to eat myself. Eventually, I'm gonna want to cook myself. Eventually, I want to cut open the food myself. And when we start doing that, that's when you get ostracized and you start being called names and start backbiting, and people start talking their little sugar honey iced tea behind you, saying all this crazy stuff. But we don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Let us continue. The living dead. Okay? The ancestors veneration. Let's go. Birth and naming. Okay? Life and guidance. Funeral rites. Ancestral status. Okay. Let me zoom. Let me open this up just a little bit more. You guys may not see my face as I open this more. Matter of fact, yeah. There we go. Okay. So when we had children, remember, our children had to have every child that you had was supposed to have a meaning. You know, every child that you had, the name had to carry a meaning behind it. It's sad that we are now, as the Alkebulan kidnaps, are giving our children pet names. All right, you're giving names that can be given unto an animal. Right? You're giving a name that can be given unto an animal. Why would you name your child? Why would you name your child Joey when you can go outside and somebody say, "Hey, Joey," and you and the dog would turn around to see who's calling your name? That's a problem. See, when we was younger, shout out to the mothers that was giving their child those unique ghetto names. You know why they was giving their child those unique ghetto names? Because Europeans was not going to give their dogs that unique ghetto name. Oh my gosh. I would never name my dog Tanifla. I would never name my dog Shaquina. I would never name my dogs that. Who would dare? So that's what we was doing. So shout out to the mothers and the fathers that was like, nah, we don't want no connection with the euro. So shout out to you for that. Round of applause. Round of applause. Shout out to them for that. Right? So we was naming our children, right? We was naming our children, handing them off to their ancestors, right? Their ancestors approve of it. Like even for me, I told my whiz, I was like, "Yo, babes, you about to have my son right now." I asked her every day. I tell her this, and she laughs. I remember it like it was yesterday. Be laying down in the bed, she getting up, she getting ready to go to work. I'm getting ready. I don't know what I was doing. You know, it probably was a Thursday night, Friday morning, and we got up like yo, hun, about to have my baby. She laughed. She like, I looked at her, said, all right, say no more. If I'm lying, I'm flying. The next day, she coughing, can't brush her teeth. I'm here on the computer doing something on the computer. She and that was going on for like 2 months and a half. And then after that, her belly grew. And then I told her, we're going to have a boy. Because in the vision that I got, in the vision that I received from the ancestors, she was coming out of the master bathroom with a child, with a blue, with a blue towel covering the baby. And she's holding him like she just took him out the shower. And I was like, and I just jumped up. I said, "Yo, hun, you about to have my baby. And it's going to be a boy." She laughed. So when she went to go get the gender reveal, she came back. She was like, "You're not worried?" Nah, 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 nah. I said, "Nah, not worrying about it." She was like, so she tried to play him and like, "We having a girl." I laughed at her. I said, "Yeah, all right." And then she was like, "Nah, we having a boy." I was like, "I know." And then she started laughing. And then that's when she started becoming a believer. Like that's when she started like, nah, this nigga Jones really be tapping into that other side. Like I do tap in. Like, nah. When you really about your ancestors, bro, your ancestors is gonna show you the way, bro. And shout out to Mama Bella for telling me that. She said, "Listen, you keep believing onto these Euro people's nonsense, you will forever be lost." That's the whole purpose. Is to confuse you, to continue keeping you lost. That's why the nigga Jesus said, "I come not but for the lost niggas to become Israelites." Okay? I come not but for the lost niggas to become Israelites. This is what you guys don't understand. So when I'm telling you these things, I'm telling you these things is because, yo, bro, we're getting off task. We're getting off task. We're forgetting the agenda. We're forgetting the mission. We're forgetting the purpose. The purpose is freedom, bro. The purpose is our land back. Our purpose is our land back. Restoring order within the black and brown community. Look at the community, my nigga. We got all these religions. We got all these beliefs. We got all these philosophies, all this doctrine. And look how chaotic the hood is. Sometimes I wonder if you guys are really outside, or are you living under a rock, or have you become so indoctrinated that when you see the chaos, you look at it and say, well, this is what happens when you're not walking with God and you're not serving and you're not keeping the commandments. So this is what's going to happen. So because of that, toodaloo, that's on you. I'm going to do what I do and continue to get through. And hopefully I make it through the kingdom. Come on, man. Stop, bro. These are lies. Don't you see that this is what don't you see what's causing, like, what's being caused here? Like, don't you see that this ideology, this mentality is dividing you from your people? Just and some of you niggas is literally just 2 paychecks away from being in them same circumstances. Like, make it make sense. How are we forgetting this? And you're 2 paychecks away from these circumstances, and yet you're keeping the laws, yet you're doing this, you're doing that, and yet you're still getting by the scratch of your teeth, man. Come on, man. Okay, look, life guidance. Look what it look. Regulated consumptions through the divination and dreams. I'm telling you, this is for real. This is real talk. You guys are receiving visions and dreams, and you trying to say that this is from the Biblos. Oh, this is prophecy from the Biblos. Listen, the creators have nothing to do with the Biblos. I repeat, the creators have nothing to do with the Biblos. The Biblos was an orchestrated, well put together manual that the Norsinian family, the Orsinian family, the Constantine family, the Rothschilds, and all these niggas that was sitting at those tables, they knew that this book was gonna be the world's renowned book that was gonna take control of humanity and allow these people to be in their position that they're in right now. Okay? You can go look these things up. Niggas, they would never, ever, ever give anybody nothing. They would never give the slaves anything that's gonna give you any level of courage, power, connection to set you free. Why they allow you to do Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, but demonize you when you try to do something African? Why? 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 Why you guys saying you got to get out of Christianity, my brother? You got to get up out of that. You got to get up out of that. But you got to come back. You got to get up out of Christianity, bro. But you got to come back and keep the commandments and walk in the ways of the Father. Walk in the ways of the Father, but can't show me one precept where Abram called him the Father. So if Abram, and we come from the lineage of Abram, Isaac, and Joseph, and I said Abram, Isaac, and Jacob. Abram, Isaac, and Jacob, but we come from that lineage. And none of these 3 individuals ever called this man father. David never said father. Saul never said father. Solomon never said father. Every single king that stood in Israel never said father. Why are you saying father? Who told you that father was supposed to be said? The Orsinian family told you so because they wanted to implement that in the New Testament. Okay, but I'll leave it there. Don't worry. Okay? Funeral rites. Right? Make sure I get everything right. Okay? Elaborate ceremonies ensuing proper traditions to ancestral realms. Okay? You was never supposed to put your mother in nobody's cemetery that you don't have no control over. You was never supposed to put a Jesus stone over the head of your ancestors. You was never supposed to do that. These are all mockeries and disrespect to your ancestors. And these people know that. These people know that. Come on, man. Yo, bro, I can't make this stuff up. Okay? Deceased become guardians of family traditions and moral integrity. Okay? Okay? Your ancestors don't leave, they stay right here with you. You go ahead and believe that story. You go ahead and believe that. That's on you. But I promise you, you're going to live your life following the ways of Christianity and still be in the same circumstances. It'll be another year. You'll be celebrating another feast day. You're gonna be saying whatever nonsense that these niggas be saying. You're gonna be saying the same thing. It's gonna be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I was with an organization for 10 plus years, bro. Following, listening to doing the whole shebang until I'm like, wait, hold on. Where is this? Forget the prophecy. Forget the prophecy. Let's just talk about the things we got control over, right? Why aren't we building schools? Why are we still going into these people's churches? We're hiding. These people was hiding the statues behind the goddamn stage. Like it's still not present. Like that's not how it goes. When you read the testament, you're supposed to remove everything that's defiled out of the house of the Lord. But you guys couldn't do that. So since you guys couldn't do that, I'm saying, well, if you guys can't do that, then why don't you guys just go buy your own church? You guys got the money, you guys got the funds. Get a church. Put the church in a neutral location. Put it in Jersey, where people from Philly, people from Jersey, people from, where it's convenient for everybody, and everybody come fellowship and gather, and then take what you're getting from that, and then you build in inner city communities. They got so much things on seas.com where you can buy land and property for literally under $1,000. Why nobody ain't jumping on that? I'm like, damn, so none of these things is happening. What's the plan B? If plan A don't work, what's plan B? What's plan B if the phone was to collapse right now? That's why I be so disappointed in baby girl, because it's like, yo, baby girl, you know me. You know what type of time I'm on. But you had allowed niggas to get into your ear and feed you foolishness, bro. Like, wait, hold on. So you prefer listening to the foolishness when you know what's being done over here. Like there's a mission over here. The mission is to get the hood into the kingdom. These niggas is trying to tell us, well, you can't save everybody. Let's leave focus on yourself. So I'm not gonna have that mentality. I still believe I could save my brothers. I still believe I could save my sisters, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. I still believe that. Who am I to walk around like I can, like I'm better, like I need to focus on me? Who gave me this ideology? Who gave me this doctrine? You did. But when they came into the land to kidnap your ass, it was none of that. Come on, man. Y'all niggas is bugging, bro. Oh, let's go back. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cover my face because I want you guys to see all of this. All right. Very disappointed. And then when the situation occurred, it was a situation occurred, and I took the initiative. Like, yo, you good? You all right? Like, you straight? Like, yeah, I'm good. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, if shit like this happens, what is the plan B? Now, just imagine that happened and a cyber attack happened and all connections is shut. How do I get in contact with her? What is the plan B? How do I ensure that Shorty and her seed is out of harm's way? It's in a position of safety. Nobody's able to do that. She's literally gonna have to be there to defend for herself. Guess what's gonna kick in, mama? Natural street. Everything that you learn growing up in these streets is what you're gonna need to survive, because you're going to realize, like, damn, so I put all my trust and all my love into these people, and these people, here we are, kumbaya, kumbaya, my lord. Come on, my niggas, stop. But anyway, these are the things that we used to do. Okay, nature and animalism. Okay, we used to listen, sacred mountains, right? This is what they used to tell you, right? All of this is, we've been doing this. Okay, sacred waters. We knew the waters. We knew what to summons. All of these things that they're telling you, the little mermaids and all that, they got that from us. These niggas know what time it is with us, bro. I'll show you a video. Hold on, where's my other phone? This is my other phone. Hold on, I'm gonna show you this video. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this video quick fast. All right. Just look at this. Let me share my screen. I want you guys to see this. I'm not gonna play the audio because for copyright reasons. I just want to play this for you. Look at this. This is a black girl. Look. Look how amazed these Europeans are. Shocked. Look. Look. Instantly came to her. You seen it? Instantly. Look. Look at this. My bad. Look. The power that you have. Don't let these people feed you anything. This is why they give you the food that they give you. Why the corner stores ain't giving us fruits and vegetables on a regular? Why every corner store sell the same shit? Everything is bread, 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 cheese, bacon. Bread, 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 cheese, bacon. Put a little egg on top. And then you see why you burning like Satan. Bread, 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 cheese, bacon. That's all we eating. That's it. Pancakes, flour, sugar. Why? Why? Because those things spiritually deplete you, because you're not feeding the food that your body needs to elevate to that next level. It's all by design. I tell you guys this all the time. Come on, man. We've been doing this. We've been doing stuff like this and tapping in and being able to move water. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Rivers, lakes, and waterfalls and the embodying the feminine spiritual essence. That's why you see the young girl, her spirit, that feminine essence. That's why you see dolphins when a woman is pregnant, the baby, the dolphin automatically comes to the stomach, because the stomach leaves off a vibration that communicates with the dolphins. That dolphin, if that woman was to fall in the water, the dolphin would save her, and the dolphin will make sure that she gets on shore accordingly. Why? Because we are connected. The Alkebulan. You heard? Okay? The turmeric animals, creatures embodying clan identities and spiritual protection. Some of you guys don't even know that the king of the jungle is never the lion. The lion came from this Judah and all of these 12 tribes garbage that these niggas telling you. That's not the king of the jungle, bro. The king of the jungle is the leopard, bro. That's why you see King Shaka Zulu with leopard skin on his body. This is why you see every African king with leopard skin on their body, because the leopard is the king of the jungle. Yeah, I know. I know. Do your homework. It's going to be all right. The sacred mountains, all right? Elevated places considered closer to the divine realm. Yes, we went up to these mountains, but we wasn't calling on. It wasn't no burning bush and the the I am that I am came down and was talking to Moses, because that never happened. All lies. All lies. Nobody can pinpoint. Nobody. Think about this. Think about this for a minute. Think about this. You're telling me, God, hold on. I got to show my face for this madness. Hold on. I got to show my face, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So you're telling me God came on this earth, spoke to Moses, spoke to Abram, right? Thousands of years gone by. Here comes this great awakening happening again, and God don't speak to nobody. Nobody's able to go to the exact areas where Moses walked to call on the same gods to allow them to come speak to them, so we can take it to the Pharaoh, aka Donald Trump, aka the governors of France, of Europe, UK. We can't take it to them. We couldn't go after Cecil Rose. Nothing, none of these things occur. Roger that. See, when stuff like this is brought to the table, and then you hear the responses, this is just the justification into why we leave these shits alone. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that. Let us continue. Okay, the sacred groves, forests, sanctuaries for communion with spirits and ancestors. Oh yeah, we used to go to the forest. There's certain, like I said, there's certain deities, and I'm looking into that. I got the books, but the reason why I don't want to dive too much into those books is because the writings come from them. I need to get some more Alkebulan authors, people that can speak the language, people that's born in the land, that knows the land. Like, I want that. I do not want any theologian, any European, or any black man that's gonna say, yeah, I never been there. I'm not from there. I only lived there for 6, 7 months. And I went, the only reason why I was there to give the people Jesus. Yeah. And now it went from giving you Jesus to now giving you whatever Hebrew Bantu names that they want to give you now. Let's go. Preparation phase. Okay.
Are you dumb?
Ritual purifications, spiritual attires, and preparation of sacred objects. Participation undergoes cleansing rituals, and abstain from certain foods or activities to achieve spiritual readiness. Remember what I just told you before about the food? Why there's so much bread, cheese, all of these things, eating lobster, all of these foods, literally, this is death food. You're not eating lively food. You're eating food for death. This is why we're living for the moment. This is why it is what it is. This is why I'm going to live my best life. I remember I had a conversation with my ways, and she was telling me that. I'm like, yo, this best life ideology, this is the reason why we're suffering right now. Because whoever gave us this foolishness, oh, we already know who did, but they're winning. You feel me? Right? The invocation, okay? Calling spiritual entities through drumming, singing, and offering the rhythm and the vibrations of the drums. Oh, let me show you. You guys think I be playing. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. Hold on. Look. 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 Listen. You understand? You thought Junes be playing. But don't worry about it. We still gonna get there, right? Vibrations of drums creating the soundscapes that bring physical and spiritual realms, opening channels of communication. The spiritual embodiment, spirit possession or manifestation through mass performers. In this heightened state, participants may demonstrate extraordinary abilities or speak with the voice of their ancestors of deities. This is facts. I can show you plenty of Alkebulan where these people are really just. I seen a person walk through the fire. They throw this fire, boom, blew him up. That man walked right through it. They ain't put no water on him, nothing. Stood there like a warrior. But these are the strengths that we have. These are the powers that we have that we're not tapping into because we are still indoctrinated by the lies, right? Communal transformation, collective healing, celebration, or transition to new states. The ceremony concludes with shared affirmations of communities, bonds, and collective spiritual identities. Okay, rituals and spiritual and ceremonies mark life transitions and seasonal cycles, creating sacred times within ordinary existence. These embodied practices utilize the the multinary experience, rhythm, movement, visual symbolisms, and sometimes alter consciousness to bring physical and spiritual dimensions. This is why we gotta dance. This is why we gotta. Don't think because you dancing because there's something to do and you just want to be on MTV and get down with the crew. No, boo boo. You're dancing because there's something inside of you that's saying, let me out. Punch these heathens out your mouth. Slap Jesus out your face. Get all these heathens out the way. All of it. That's your body doing that. So what they do is they gave you hip hop and R&B. So with the dances that you're supposed to be giving to your ancestors to summons them to set you free, now you doing it in front of Jay-Z and Beyonce, and you know all of these niggas got HIV. You understand what I'm saying to you? The bite, they burning. The bite, people, the bite. Never forget the bite. Okay? The spiritual specialties, the healers and the diviners. Okay? The diviners. All right? Specialists who interpreted messages from the spiritual realm using tools like crown shells, bones, or cards. They diagnose spiritual causes of misfortune and provide guidance for resolution. Undergoing extensive spiritual initiation, interpreted dreams and omens, the mediator, the true mediator between the living and the ancestors. Okay? The true mediators. All right? Okay? Now I don't listen. I don't subscribe to the fortune tellers and all that. The reason why is you are a fortune teller. Nothing in the fortunes told you that you was gonna do this for the rest of your life. Nothing in your fortune said, nigga, you're about to stand on this corner for 12 hours a day, sitting down with a cigarette in your hand, asking people if they want their palms read. And when people tell you no, you get what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't believe that. But anyway. Let's go into the herbalist. Medical practitioners who utilize botanical knowledge to prepare remedies for physical and spiritual elements. Okay. Once upon a time, we used to be sick. We used to go to grandma. We used to have the herbalist, the ancient mama. They call it the witch doctor. We call it the switch doctor because they switch sides. They said, "Nigga, which side you want to be on? You want to be on the spiritual side or the regular side? If you want to go on the spiritual side, they gave you something and they took you there. They took all that away from you. They got rid of Mama Love. They got rid of the teas. The nigga William Gates is trying to buy all of this land to put all the GMO inside your food and all the nonsense so you niggas can die slow like R. Kelly. You understand what I'm saying to you? You got to understand what's going on, people. Okay? The spirit mediums, individuals with the ability to communicate directly with spirits, often entering trance states to channel ancestral wisdom, channel voices of the ancestors and deities, all right, reveal hidden information, facilitate community healing. See, they took all that away from you. All that was taken away from you in the name of Jesus. None of you guys is doing any of this because the name of Jesus told you this is forbidden, and you're wondering why you're suffering. You're wondering why you're healing. Then listen, let me tell you guys something. You ever heard the saying that it says all roads lead to Rome? But when Rome is navigating and he's driving the car, you know where he's really taking all. When it says all roads lead to Rome, it's talking about the resources, the money, the power, the control. If you want to know where it's going, where it comes from, it leads to Rome. But you want to know where the Romans is taking you? The Romans is taking black people to the nearest morgue, to the nearest prison, to the nearest hospital. These are the three places that these people are taking you. And when I say Rome is driving you there, I really meant to say Jesus because, like you said, people, Jesus grabbed the wheel and he's grabbing it. And he's sending you niggas to a place that you never want to be in. And that's prison, dead, right? Or the hospital. Let us continue. I know. The colonial disruption and spiritual resistance, religious impositions, missionaries activities, okay, labeled indigenous practice as demonic or primitive, forcing conversion to Christianity as the only path to salvation and civilization. So when you hear people saying father, or they're giving the name for the gender to a supreme deity as a male, just know that these are the people that was colonized by these people. Listen, these missionaries was really brutal when it was to force people into their beliefs. Okay, legal prohibition. Prohibit. You're prohibited from what? Colonial authorities, all right, enact laws criminalizing traditional ceremonies, divination, and healing practices, forcing these activities underground. Meaning, if you was caught doing these things, you would be killed in front of your children, in front of anybody and anyone who was there with you practicing the fugazi. Babe, take them in the room for a minute. I'm almost finished. The educational erodes. Okay? Mission schools and colonial education systems taught African children to reject ancestral knowledge as superstition and breaking the integrational transmission. Okay? Integrational transmission. These people was doing that intentionally. You understand? This is why your school teaches you about Christopher Columbus, teaches you about everything. You learn about everything, but anything black is demonized evil. And you guys got to start waking up. You're sleeping way too long. You're believing these niggas way too much. You cannot come to me and tell me that you're going to give me something that's demonizing black people, black creation, and your justification into why it's wrong because a European told you, bro. A European told you. When we got black people who we got access to that we can ask personally, like, yo, bro, is this for real? Is this true? Is this like this? Is this like that? And they'll be like, nah. Like when they say voodoo is bad. Every time I hear people that say, the only people that says voodoo that's bad are people that does not come from that. These are the people that's getting information from a third party, getting their information from Europeans, watching movies. You watch Tales from the Crypt, and all of a sudden you thinking that, come on, people, stop. Okay? The spiritual adaptation. Okay? Adaptation. Okay? Despite suppression, practitioners develop synthetic practices hiding traditional elements with Christian frameworks or mainstream sacred rituals in remote areas. So we had to hide what we believed in. This is how powerful. And when we got to do that, it just lets you know what's really going on this earth. And what you see going on in Africa, I promise you, if that thing does occur, and I'm gonna talk more about that. I'm gonna tell you the real reason why they don't like my son Ibrahim Torre. I'm gonna show you the real reason. I'm gonna show you the real reason. Right? Okay. Reclaiming the ancestral wisdom, path to reconnection. Research and documentations. Explore academic resources, oral history, oral pause. That means straight from the mouth, pause. That means straight from the mouth, pause. Hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Stop going to people that's listening to this. Stop listening to people that has been compromised. Anybody that's been compromised and they talking about Jesus and they saying, look, Jesus was here. His name is not really Jesus. His name is this. And this is where they took him from. And they're like, word. So if I was to go there right now and I was to say, hey, can you show me the exact area where this so-called man was taken? And if they tell me no, then what? Then what? Okay, cool. Exploring academic resources, oral history, and community knowledge. Work like John S. Embodied, African Religions and Philosophy, and Robert Ferris Thompson, Flash of the Spirit, provide valuable insights in traditional systems. So get those people's books, man. I'm gonna get them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get them. I got so much books to read. I want to get them and read it and learn it and understand it and know what I got to do to take over the world. And when I say take over the world, take over my world so my world can become as powerful. And when I become powerful and you become powerful and we become powerful, then we get in our land back. And that's a damn fact. Okay? Personal practices, establish home or altars, honoring ancestors, incorporating traditional prayers and offerings into daily life, learning indigenous language and arts, and develop a relationship with the natural world based on traditional principles. Community engagement. Okay, connecting with cultural organizations, traditional practitioners, and community elders who maintain ancestral knowledge. Again, right? Community elders, not nobody that's on the internet that don't speak the language, right? That don't speak the language. That's not somebody that I'm gonna get up under, sir. Sorry, not doing that ever in life. I don't know, man, them like me don't do batty boy activities. You heard? Me don't get under no man. No man, batty. No man. Under no man. By no circumstances. Okay? Especially when the knowledge is not even up to par with what I know. No. No. I'll be honest. Listen, out of all of these so-called organizations and people professing to have the truth, the only person that I can honestly say gave me wisdom and knowledge to understand the Bible accordingly will always be Brother Rakar. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. The nigga knew what he was doing when it comes to teachings. It's cool, subtle, calm. You know what I'm saying? Hit the key points. Son used to get busy. I ain't gonna lie. But anything outside of that, nah. Every teacher that came after that, it was already, when it comes to studying and knowledge, it was already beneath me. I already knew it. Like I just said, I just play my position like I'm supposed to, like I always will, until you try to play with me. And then you're gonna see Junes for who Junes really is. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't let Junes, hot summer day. You know what Junes is in a hot summer day, right? It's a problem. It's hot. Okay? digital resources, utilizing online platforms like spiritual of African, spirituality of Africa. Harvard can't say his last name. Traditional African religion forms and social media groups dedicated to preserving and revitalizing indigenous African spiritual tradition. Reconnecting with their ancestral spiritual practices offers profound healing for historical trauma and cultural disconnection. This journey requires both scholarly intervention and exploring, learning, understanding philosophies, right? For psychological concepts while engaging in embodied practices. For many in the African diaspora, this process re what is it? I can't see it. Reclamation, fucking whatever that thing is, represents a ancestral step towards wholeness. Wholeness in what? Wholeness of self, wholeness of you, wholeness of what you are, what you supposed to do, what life is, etc., etc. And that's it, people. You got to reclaim what's yours, people. Stop allowing the foolishness. Stop believing the foolishness. Start connecting. Start doing your homework. Stop waiting for me to come on a Saturday to feed you this. You got to do your homework. Your next generation depends on it. The next generation claims it depends on it, bro. If we don't do it, if we don't start the process now, and the rate that they're going and what they're doing, especially here in America with the laws, with the bills, and all these things that's coming into law. Listen, people, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. And you niggas are not nowhere near prepared for what they're about to unleash, bro. It's literally a ticking time bomb. And with that being said, people, it's your brother man from the motherland. Came to you guys live. Continue supporting, like, comment, share. I wanted to show you guys some other Alkebulan deities. I'll probably do that when I come back home. Give you guys just a quick part 2 and show you some beautiful Alkebulan deities and the practices and things that we used to do. We're gonna tap into these things, you know what I'm saying? And I got you. You know what I'm saying? You see, I got you today, even though I'm in my robe, my home robe, and not the throne robe. We still in the zone because I can't leave this alone. You heard? But again, I said I am him, Junes, the NBIC. You know, I represent that ROD. I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Are you dumb or are you dumb? And I'ma holla.